are going to see how to draft a virtual message. This is one of the important questions which has been included in your writing skills section from this year. So we should know how to write this question. Actually, if we see, this question is very scoring. How? Now first, before starting how to write this question, we should understand what is virtual communication. What is virtual communication? Virtual communication is mode of communication using technology between two persons. Okay, when you use technology, audio or video to communicate with the third person, that time we can say it is virtual communication. Now, this is very common. With so much use of social media, we are messaging so many times. But do we know how to message properly and how we should write it? That we are going to see in drafting a virtual message. For this question, a telephonic conversation will be given to you and you will have to convert the given telephonic conversation for a third person. You have to write a message for the third person. Whatever conversation has been given, you have to convert into a message for the third person. And when you are converting into a message for the third person, what are the things you should mention? What are the things you should write? First of all, you should write what is the format? You should write the date, first thing. Then you should write the time when the message was conveyed. Name of what? Name of the person. Name of the person to whom the message is directed. Message is directed. Body of the message. Body of the message. And name of the receiver. Name of the writer. Name of the writer of the message. So this is the format of how you should draft a virtual message. As I told, a telephonic conversation will be given between two persons. And what you have to do? You have to convert that telephonic conversation into a message for a third person. And while converting it, you have to use the following format. First, you should mention the date. You should mention the date. Okay? You can mention it in short. Okay. After that, means if this is the margin, then you will write the time. Like it is 7 p.m. What is the time? Then you should mention the name of the person to whom the message has been conveyed. For example, if a call came from Mr. Sharma for your dad, okay, Mr. Sharma called and you picked up the phone and he told you that there is an important message for your father. Tell him that the meeting has been postponed. So, who is for whom the message is? Your dad. Okay. Now will come the body of the message, and after that, after including the body of the message, you have to write your name. Whatever, if your name is, for example, Rahul. So this is how your message should look. This is how your message should look. Date, time, to whom you want to convey the message itself, and your name. Now, what is important in this? The message. How should you write the message? Always remember that the message should be in indirect speech. It should include only the important information. You should not skip any important information which has been included in the conversation. You should not add any information on your own which was not included in the conversation. Okay, and you have to mention it into indirect speech because when you are talking with someone, They are talking directly with you. But when you are conveying it to your father in a message, it will be indirect speech. Like you can start, Mr. Sharma called to inform that the meeting has been postponed for the next day. Okay, so this is only important aspect of the conversation has to be included. You have to skip the other irrelevant part. Okay, so understood how you are going to write the virtual message. Actually, if we see, the question is very scoring. How you are expected, and how much should be the body of the message? How should be the body of the message? It should be in short, it should contain only important detail, and it should be in indirect speech, okay? And it should be very short. In at the most 5 to 6 sentences you should write. It should not exceed 8 sentences, okay? So don't you think it is very scoring for 4 marks to write only this much information? Yes, indeed it is. So you should always, means you will have choice. You will have 3 questions, and out of that you have to attempt 1. So I do think that drafting a virtual message is a very easy question to solve. It's very scoring question. So in this video we discuss how to draft, means how to write a virtual message. Now there are different means of communication, but for communication, now social media, different forms we are using technology, and use of technology for communicating a message is virtual communication. How? In this question, a telephonic conversation will be given. You have to convert the telephonic conversation into a message for a third person. While converting, what are the things you should keep in mind? You should mention the date. You should mention the time. You should mention for whom the message has been conveyed. Then will come the body of the message. Body of the message should be in short. It should be in indirect speech. Means you have to mention it in third person, and you should include only important aspects, and you should write the name, your name, or the name of the person to whom the information has been conveyed, who has written the message. I hope you might have understood the question, and you will surely attempt this question in your exam. Do subscribe to the channel to enrich your English and to know more about different aspects of English. Thank you.